Today in the wood yard, we're gonna cut some trees down at my mom and dad's. Here we go. So I came over for a short visit today, and there's always a job for me to do when I get here. So my dad's got a couple dead trees he wants cut down, so I'm gonna do it. And I just got done at my brother's cutting some trees down, so I gotta sharpen up my saw here. I've got my portable Dremel along, so I'm gonna sharpen it up, and then we're gonna go cut a couple elm trees down. So we're gonna sharpen right now. So I decided to do a little voiceover while I'm grinding away here. For those of you that haven't seen some of my other videos, I most of the time use a Dremel to sharpen my chains. I have a couple of Dremels that, you know, are direct cord plug-in types. This is a portable one with a battery pack that I take with me when I go on location when I'm cutting. And so if I know I'm going to be somewhere where I'm not going to have electricity, I take this along for touch-ups. I sharpened this particular chain. It took less than 2 minutes. I looked at the timestamp from when I started to when I ended. It was like 1 minute and 47 seconds or something like that. You can see about how long I'm spending on each tooth. And this chain was really dull. I think I had cut the ground with it a couple times when I was at my brother's. And you can see the tips are rounded and they're jagged, and the top plate, there's no straight line, so it was really bad. So I do a lot of grinding to get this one down. If I'm just doing a touch-up, I generally can do that pretty quick. So anyway, I edited this out. I'm only going to show you a little bit of it. You don't need to see the whole thing, but there you see me grinding away, and it works great. I get my chains real sharp just using the little Dremel. It's 8100, and there you go. So there's a little bit of sharpening, and that's enough of me talking, so now you can watch the rest of this. So there it is. It's the Dremel 8100 battery pack, and it's razor sharp now because I cut a lot of trees that were alongside the road, and I think I might have cut some barbed wire yesterday with this particular saw. The other ones are dull too, but I just sharpened the one, will be plenty. I always wear safety glasses, and I wear the bifocal one so I can see up nice and close. And I always wear the earmuffs, and I always wear gloves. But the saw is ready to cut now, so we're gonna go do some chopping. So this is the tree. It's an elm tree. It's been dead for a couple years. The bark's all coming off of it now. I mean, it's pretty dead. It might be pretty dry. It's a cluster. So we're gonna drop it right out this way into the field is the plan. There it is. Looks like he's gonna have to get a new spot to sun himself. Looks like my little brother is here. For those of you that don't know, this is my dad's favorite child of the 5 of us. This is his dog, and he's by far the favorite. Isn't that right, Smokey? Isn't that right, huh? So there it is. I cut it down, now I'm gonna cut it up. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. There's like almost no wind. It's gotta be, I don't know, mid-40s already. Absolutely gorgeous day. But we're gonna cut this up, lock it up right here and let it dry right here, and they'll just burn it. I thought it would be pretty dry, but you can tell by the inside here, it's very wet, very wet. So I'm gonna get her all cut up. So there it is. It's all cut up. All we gotta do now is drag some limbs to a pile so they can get burned, and then we're gonna throw this into a pile here, and then my brother will come over with his splitter and split all this up. We thought it would be more dry than it is. Some of the tops are pretty dry because it's been dead, he thinks, for 2 years now. The bark's coming off like this here, some of the spots. But it's cut up, and there's probably, I don't know, if I had to guess, there might be half a cord, maybe 2/3, something like that. Quite a bit of wood. I cut the stump down here, as you saw, and so yeah, you probably saw me, I got my bar stuck over here because all those branches, it was like, you know, it was like 4 crotches there all together, and I thought I could pull the saw out quick, do a cut, and I pinched it. So my dad's little 445 had to come to the rescue. It's a nice little saw. Boy, it would be nice to run with one of those all day long. Nice and light, nothing to it. I mean, it's like, feels like a little toy, but it cuts nice. It cuts real nice. It just doesn't cut very fast. Not a lot of power to it. It's probably, well, it is. It's about half the saw of what my 576 is here. So that's a 45 cc, and this is 76 cc. So I guess it's more than half. Nice little saw though. Nice little spare saw to have, or for living. And for an average homeowner, a guy that's just going to trim around his yard and stuff, or if you got a little bit of property, you really don't need anything bigger than that. But if you're going to cut to where you're burning wood, or if you're heating with wood, and if you're selling wood especially, you need a bigger saw. They just cut so much faster. You get so much more production done. But that worked really good. So that is it. I'm just going to pile all this up now, and then we'll see what we have here. I'm going to throw it into a pile here next. So here's a couple of things you got to watch out for, especially when you're cutting around by residential areas. I'm sure you tree service guys know all about this kind of stuff. He had a pulley because he had a electrical fence ran out around his garden to keep the deer out, and he ran it from his garage behind me and then over into the garden, which is over that way. So he had this insulator with a big spike on it too. So yeah, you got to watch out for that stuff. I know guys that do tree service, or those of you that are cleaning up on property that, you know, around the house, you always got to watch for nails, because people like to hang bird feeders and clotheslines and just stuff around their yard, decorations. So you always got to watch out for nails. You don't want to hit them. It's not fun. So now I'm going to throw everything into a pile. So here's the stump right here. Here's the pile of wood. The brush is over in the garden. We're gonna burn that in a couple days, so that's over there. Here's Smokey, he was supervising the whole time, and it's probably about a half a cord of wood. And all this stuff that's this size, all the little top pieces here, all dry enough to burn, so those will get burnt. And then some of the bigger ones down there will need to be split probably. So the job is complete, and that's it for today. So hit the buttons, like, subscribe, share, you know what to do. And tomorrow I'll be back cutting wood, and you're gonna be there because it's the place to be. Job is done. How did we do? Is it a good job?
Good. It's the only job I can handle what I'm doing right now.
It's the best job you ever had right there. So that's it. Good night, Irene.